Welcome back to Craig's Custom Cooking. I hope everybody's having a great day. I'm gonna make a recipe for my niece. It is chicken and broccoli. She's wanted me to make it for a long time so she can see how to make it. I also wanted to give her a shout out. Her name is Cadence Iyer. She has a Facebook where it's called Onyx Dog Bakery. She makes and sells treats for dogs. So if you would, just look her up on Facebook, support her if you will. I would really appreciate it. I'm going to turn the camera around and I'm going to start the process of how we make chicken and broccoli. All right, right here I have an 11-pound chicken breast. A lot of times when you buy them, they're between 12 pounds, 10 pounds and 12 pounds. This one happens to be 11 pounds right on the button. So I'm gonna try to turn this so you can see it easier. I'm gonna take the chicken breast and I'm gonna slice down the middle of it, and I'm gonna cut it into 2 different halves. Then I'm gonna take this one and I'm gonna cut this on a bias. You want the meat thin, and cutting it on a bias, it gives it a more surface for the seasonings to adhere to it. So I'm gonna do this. My knife is very sharp, it goes through very easy. Let me finish this up and I'll bring you back. Okay, I have all my ingredients set out in front of me. I've put them over here. This is my chicken. You can see it's about 1/4 inch thick. I've cut all the pieces into the same size. We're gonna place this into the pan, the cutting board. Now, to this, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce. Oyster sauce a little harder to get out, so you want to make sure you get most of that out of there. 2 tablespoons of water, 1 tablespoon of baking soda. Now this is very important. This is what tenderizes the meat. The Chinese in China always use baking soda in their meats. It helps just tenderize the meat. There's a lot of times Americans don't use this, but if you want very tender, juicy chicken, put the baking soda in. Now, we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, 1 egg, 1 teaspoon of white sugar, and 1 tablespoon of rice cooking wine. All right, let me get my gloves on and I'll be back. All right. As you can see, I have all the ingredients in here. We're going to break up the egg, and then you're going to slowly mix all the ingredients in there. Make sure you break up your cornstarch. The cornstarch gets a little bit clumpy, but you're gonna mix all this together in your bowl. Like so. Make sure you get all the sides so all the spices are inside. Now I'm going to set my timer for 5 minutes because we're going to massage this for 5 minutes. And as we do that, it'll start to get sticky and it'll get velvety. So you just want to keep working it with your hands. I'm gonna do this and then I'll bring you back when we're completed. All right, my timer's about to go off. There we go. So I've been massaging this for 5 minutes. I wanted to show you one of the pieces. As you can see the grain in the chicken. This substance is already entered into the chicken. The egg, the baking soda, and the cornstarch will lock in the moisture. It creates a starchy layer and it locks the juiciness inside of the meat. So we're gonna set this aside and we're gonna let that set for 20 minutes. Then we'll start preparing the sauce. Okay, right here I have all the ingredients that are gonna go in the sauce. So I'm gonna make the sauce that goes on the chicken and broccoli. So to start off, we got 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. We have 1 tablespoon of grated garlic. I use the minced garlic from the store. I cut up my own garlic, but this is just much easier when you're on a tight schedule. So, and that's a tablespoon of ginger that I've also put in there. We got 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce. 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. 1 teaspoon of white pepper. All right, and we're gonna add it calls for a half a cup of chicken stock. I didn't have any chicken stock here, but I do have duck stock that I made last night. I just took it out of the refrigerator. You can use, as long as it's poultry, it'll still give you the same flavor. You could use turkey broth, chicken broth, duck broth, as long as it's poultry. You don't want to use beef broth in this unless you're making beef and broccoli. So if you're going to make beef and broccoli, you just switch the chicken stock over to beef stock. Okay, and all we're going to do is just mix this all up. Now the hardest part of mixing this up is your cornstarch, because it takes a little bit to break it up. All right, and that is our sauce that will go on top of it. I'm actually going to use a whisk. Try to break everything up. That's much better. The black pepper's breaking up now. The cornstarch is breaking up. So it looks much better now. This is what they also call brown sauce. You'll hear a lot of people refer to a brown sauce when you're making beef and broccoli, chicken and broccoli. This is exactly what it is. All right, I took a small head of broccoli and cut it up. You want about 2 cups of broccoli. I've already got about 2 cups of broccoli cut up in this measuring cup, but I wanted to show you how I cut it. I cut it into quarters. If it's a big piece, I cut it into quarters. If they're small pieces, I just leave them the size they are. You want them all to try to be uniform, because we're going to pan brown these before we put the chicken and everything in it. So you want your flat surface so you can get it on the bottom of the pan. So I just wanted to show you that. I'll bring you back when we're ready to start cooking everything. I'm going to give you a quick tutorial on how to make white rice that we're going to serve with the chicken and broccoli. I have 2 cups of rice in this pan. This goes in my rice cooker. I rinsed it 3 different times until the water turns clear. And then, according to this, you're supposed to fill it up to the 2-inch or the number 2 in the pot. But being taught by my Chinese wife, use this line on your finger, right here. So you fill the water up in the pan until when you put your finger in, the water comes to this line on your finger. This is the proper way to make white rice. Now, we save the water that we take off the rice when we clean it. My wife uses this to water all her flowers with, because there's starch and all kinds of good things in here for plants. So I just wanted to show you that. This is our Japanese rice cooker. So I'm going to take the white rice, put inside, close the lid, hit start. It plays a little tune while it's starting. I have it set for white rice, and it sets automatically for 60 minutes. It'll do all the cooking for you. The steam will come out the top. When you open this up, all you have to do is fluff up your rice. So I just wanted to show you that. Rice may be a really simple thing to make, but some people just don't know how to make rice. So I thought I'd share that with you. Welcome back. I'm going to start to cook the broccoli. So I have my burner on high. I have just enough avocado oil left in this container to pour in the pan. About 1 to 2 tablespoons. Roll it around in the pan. And we're going to put our broccoli in. Now I may have to do this in 2 batches. I'm going to try to get it all in one. But you don't want to crowd it too much. You want all your broccoli to be facing to the bottom of the pan. These chopsticks are bent. All right, let me get these browning, and then I'll show you what you want them to look like when they're done, or when they're ready to turn. All right, these have been on about 1.5 minutes. This is what you want it to look like on the back side. You want it to get a nice brown color. You don't want it to burn. Some of them aren't ready yet. The ones that are ready, I'm going to flip over. So let me get these flipped over and I'll bring you back. Alright, as you can see, I have them browned on both sides. See some of the smoke coming out of the pan. They're not burnt. You don't want to burn them. They're still they're not soft. What I do is I take these and put them in on a separate plate. Then I will use some olive oil again. And about 2 tablespoons. I'll reignite my burner to high. Now I put in my carrots. Some people cook the carrots and the broccoli together. I do mine separately. Let me brown these up and I'll bring you back. Alright, it's been about 2 minutes. The carrots, you can see, have a brownish tint to them. They're tender but not overly done. We're just going to put that on top of the broth. And I'll bring you back when I start cooking the chicken. Alright, welcome back everybody. Now I'm going to get ready and cook the chicken. I have about 2 tablespoons of olive oil in my pan. I'm going to take all the chicken, we're going to put all the chicken in, and we're going to take it and separate it so it's all separate. Now we're going to cook this on one side for about 2 minutes. My rice cooker's about ready to go off. You'll hear the alarm or the song it makes when it's finished here shortly. And you'll notice I do a lot of cooking with chopsticks. I find it easier sometimes than other utensils. Now we want to try to get a nice golden brown on one side of this chicken. Now, you might be able to hear it. This is pretty loud, but the rice is finished. Now this is very thin, so it's not going to take long to cook it. That side's golden brown. I'm going to flip them over. Let me get these all flipped over and I'll bring you back. Alright, I have them all flipped over. Going to fry the other side for about 2 minutes. And then we'll mix everything together. I'll bring you back at that stage and show you what we're going to do. Alright everybody, it's brown on both sides. You can see it's got a nice color on both sides of the piece of chicken. Now what we're going to do, we're going to reintroduce the broccoli and the carrots into the dish. I like to use 2 spatulas when we do this. I'm going to turn my heat down to about a medium. And then you're going to just take everything and stir it together. The reason we did the broccoli and the carrots that way is you saw a little bit of smoke coming off of them. That gives it a smoky flavor. So what we're going to do now is bring the broccoli and the carrots back up to temperature. I'm going to turn it down a little bit more. Now, we're going to introduce our sauce that we made. Cornstarch sometimes settles out of it. You want to make sure you get the cornstarch back in. Made a mess there. And we flip everything in the pan until it's coated with the gravy mix. What I did is I added about a quarter cup of water to it because there was a little more cornstarch in there that I like. I like a little gravy on it, so I wanted it to be a little thinner. So this is completed. I'm going to take this off. I'm going to plate some up and have it for supper. I'll bring you back. Okay. This is the rice we put in the center of the plate. Take as little or as much of this as you want on top. We're going to sit down at the table and then we'll enjoy it. Welcome back. We got our 2 plates. So go ahead, dear, give it a try. Seeing you're the expert on. I'm gonna try a piece of chicken. Try your chicken. The chicken's very, very tender. It's very flavorful, very tender, juicy. Broccoli.
Indeed. Yeah. The meat is tender and the broccoli still stay crunchy.
That's what you want.
It's very good. That's what I like.
So.
Very good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to finish our meal. If you like our channel, please subscribe, hit the like button and the bell. It'll notify you if there's a new video coming up. I've actually learned how to get the black lines off my screen now, so that it'll be a wider screen, it'll look much better. It's a learning process. I'm new at this. And Katie, I expect you to make this and send me a picture of it after you make it. I love y'all. Have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.